And here we are in Avorion, and we're just going to muck around a little bit, testing out some of the new updates. They say those fighters where I was mining and they would get stuck outside seem to be fixed today, so we'll do a test of that in a little bit. I'm still mucking around with different meshes and importing and exporting and cutting up different shift parts and messing with them and putting them together in other little ways. It's kind of neat and cool. Oh, am I going too fast? Yeah, I am. How about some brakes? There we go. Here we go. Go miners. And if you look at my previous video on Shogun 2, if you're having any problems when you install it, like the DirectX thing pops up, an error 1935 or some error, just click OK, ignore it. It's because it's so old that it's got issues with the fact it's so old. There's a token that these softwares come with to tell, you know, it's too old, and that is. The other thing you got to do is you actually have to install that Flash 11 that comes along with it in order for it to run. I'm told, and I haven't tried this yet, I've got the game to work, I'm told that you can then go, after you get the game running, past that, all this install business, that you can go right click on the game, you go to, I think it's manage, and then look at local files, and then you just go to where the flash stuff is and just wipe it out, and it should still work. Now, if it doesn't, then you can just verify files and then reinstall. So, or go to the directory that has that stuff in it and put it back in there. But I gotta say, I'm not, of all the games they could have gone and given out, they could have given out something real popular like Rome 2 or Rome 1, right? And it doesn't need flash, and therefore you'd have, you know, none of these issues, right? It's just kind of a aha mode. Anyway, okay, so let's test the fighters going back in here. It's been better the last few days, I gotta admit that. And then they came out with this patch today, so I always kind of play things when they patch it up. I've been busy doing other stuff that, you know, it's like I said, you know, I just got to the point where all these bugs and glitches in YouTube, it just was not it was not cool. No. I'm not the only one that sees that anyway. Well, we're still waiting for these to get in here. Just want to see how long it's going to take. Like, seriously, look at this. Get in this ship, you idiots. You know? Oh, there's 2 of them. Okay, how many are left? 4 of them? Alright. It's on that side. No, there's one. Took 15 minutes one time to get one guy inside. I was like, what the hell? One left, I think. Nope, he's having a hard time. Change your orbit. Yeah, that seemed to work. So it does seem to work. That's good. That's a really important fix because real pain in the ass waiting for these morons to get on your ship while you're doing things, and they take forever to make. So it's one of those things. Yeah, maybe I should turn the graphics down a little, Bit laggy. Yeah, I haven't been around. I tell you, I just did. I took 4 days off and I was doing other things. Stuck with graphics and mucking with things and doing things. Talking to other people, going to other channels, saying hi to people, all that stuff. You gotta do that once in a while, and I needed time off from all this. Especially with all the stupid shit that YouTube was doing. And I found other people that have the same problems as me, and I'm trying to explain to them what the problem is, and it's hard because it's technical, you know. Understanding that the Chrome browser, they did an update and they screwed something up where if when you go to do your live stream, if at any time you do a certain couple of things, and I'm not going to say them so that and nobody starts screwing themselves up and then whining to YouTube just because they can then do it. It will mess with the cookie on there, right? And it's not just the cookie, but it's something in this integration of things. And the only way I fixed it was the absolute weirdest way I've ever seen anything done in my life. I exited out of the Chrome browser. I fired up Firefox, my old ancient version, logged into YouTube, went over to the live chat, tried to start one, and then I just exited it, right? And whatever that did, sorted it. Or, during that time I'm doing this, and I can't tell you this, because they don't talk to us, right? When you tell them things, they fix something, right? But the fact that it's happening to other people. And the other thing is that they removed that go-to channel thing, and there's some people who are saying, oh, there's this extension you can get, no. The thing is, I see this privacy violation that's kind of with it, and it says they can read and change your account, read and change your account details or something like this. And I'm like, whoa. It's one thing to read stuff, but change? What do you need to change in my account? Okay? And I posted this to this person back when this happened weeks ago. And you know what they did? They not only didn't respond to me, okay, they changed their channel name, started all this up again as somebody new, and now everybody's going and using this thing, right? And they're using a different person who speaks some English this time. Yeah, I don't know. And then there was a couple of people I ran into, and it's because they have some moderators, right? And they get busy, and somebody came into the chat, and they had a cloned name that was very close to someone's name, and the person didn't catch it and gave them moderator status rather than right-clicking on them and going to their channel and realizing it's not the person that they would normally do that with. And that's why you need a go-to channel, okay? It's security for the channels. They need to fix that, sort it out, and get her done, okay? Because if you don't, more of that's going to start happening. People will catch on that you can trick people if they get busy, right? All you got to do is have some nickname close enough and somebody doesn't realize it, and then poof, all of a sudden you get what happened to this one girl. A guy came in and for 10 minutes he was okay, and then he just stood up right on a live stream, dropped his pants. I was like, oh my lord. Yeah. Nothing's gonna live past this. One down. Get his attention. Your attention too. Did you fire at me? Hello. Death to you. Yes, and I added those claws at the end here. Another ship I ripped apart. Yeah, and I wanted to have a little, while I'm here, just sort of on my own, and if anyone wants to listen to this. Now, when somebody like myself makes a mesh, 3D mesh, and gives it out to the general public with a free, personal, non-commercial use, that means you could go to some place like this, use the voxel translate program, and put it into the game and have some fun with you and your friends. That's what it's about. Okay? It spreads a little goodwill between the artist and the population, right? So then maybe, you know, the next time they put something out that might cost a couple bucks, you go, hey, you know what, he was cool. Here we go, here's a couple bucks. What I don't appreciate is when, you know, you have people in this community who will rip you for that. I'm like, screw the hell off. Okay? Who are you? Oh, you're that guy that's trying to build everything and then try and co-opt and control what everybody can and can't have, right? Well, I'm not doing anything illegal, so go piss yourself off, you know? Maybe you should make some stuff that looks a little bit more like the stuff that's, you know, I'm importing. Okay? And the key part is that you learn a lot more about building because you're going to have to put the guts into the insides of these things. You're going to have to put the weapons on these things. You're going to have to learn. See how fast this ship turns? Okay? Part of the allure of that is the coloring of the ship. It's hiding some thrustering. Okay? That's one little trick. Right? But anyway. Here we are again. We will unleash the hounds. And I'll go say hi to the chat. It's been a while. Yes, yes, yes. Hmm. 12 minutes. Nobody even knows I'm on yet, probably. Yes, talking to yourself is grand. I'm sure there's enough people doing that right around now. Oh, and I found a nice science article on cats and dogs, how they can get this COVID thing. That's real great. all those lawns on the front here where the same animals are trekking around in there. And then you bring it back in the building, they walk over the building and everybody else gets it. Now there's no proof that that can happen yet, but I mean, if they want us to stay 6 feet apart from a human being, well, what about a cat and a dog? Like, you know. Conquest for Planet of the Apes. Go watch it. It's funny. It's funny how certain movies got it right. Maybe. How am I on my thing here? Bump. Oh, yeah. Oh, we're not barely doing anything here. Okay. Yeah, maybe I will pop over here. I think it was going into here, right? Let's go. a couple more days, get my monthly check usually, and then, you know, pay all my bills. Yep. Okay. I think we started up over here before, and we mined most of this stuff out. We get to going too fast here. I might have done the whole area in here, eh? These little fighters, they really clean up. Oh, wait. Maybe not. There we go. This looks like we're starting to get into an area where we may have been. Alright. Hey, where are all my fighters? Oh, I left them back there. Whoops. Where was I here? 96 lost fighters. Whoops. That's stupid. Yeah, I'm wide awake today. Paying attention. Yeah, maybe I should go collect my fighters first. Hey boys, sorry about that. Yep. Yep. Oh no, he left us behind. That's funny. Well, there's a test. We'll see if this part of the programming works. I'm anything if not funny. I do weird things. Get over here, guys. Come on. And then we'll go for a tour. There we go. Yes. So the internet provider is having some tough times, I guess, too. They're shutting down their DSLR forums for after 13 years, and adding $5 to my cost. But to be fair, they took $5 off, so it's the same as it was. But the good news is, if I add $10 to that in a month, I can get 3 times as much download speed. I would rather have a little bit more upload speed, and just you know, if I could get 5 extra meg of upload speed, I'd have more than enough, you know, to do things I want. And the 50 megabit, I don't really care for that much. I mean, that's just beyond crazy, that amount. Okay, now we'll go back over there. Fill up, come back. This is what you do. I'm just making sure I got enough resources for everything for the rest of existence in this game, and then, you know, mucking around with it. I got enough. It's almost like they've given us too many free games. I got so many games I don't even have the hard drive space for, you know, having any of them to test out, right? I gotta go like one at a time, then install this, and then there. What I should be doing is, I should put Steam, well, no, you can't put it on a USB drive because that would just wreck you for speed. If I had an SSD, I'd do that. Yeah, smoker's cough. Dry throat. It's not a cold. It's not the mama. Okay, this looks like an area where we can start with here. Alright. Alright, boys. Release the hounds. Okay, so let's see. There's not that many of them down here, so let's just clean this out. Clean this shit out, and then that way they're done over here. I don't have to come back over this way. The sweater put a little mark on my neck. Ow. Anyway, yep. So hope everyone's safe, sound, and everything else. My little message to all those people that want to protest, we get it. There's no one more wanting you to go free than me. Okay? But think about it like this. If you wait about 2 or 3 weeks, you can just tough it out. Be tough, right? And if things get better and better and better, right? The numbers get lower and lower and lower, and they keep going lower and lower, they have less and less excuses to ease restrictions. Remember that, okay? I just like to say that to people because, you know, if you don't, all you're doing is you're making this longer, and eventually it's going to cause collapse of more systems in society. And I hate to say it, but you that are wandering around out there, you're going to be the ones that gets it first. And then when they don't have any health care for you, that's it. Done. Done. You know, like, there's being smart and stupid at the same time, right? One has to wonder what the real ulterior motive is by people that advocate for this protesting when they say they're intelligent, that they believe in science, and yet you look behind the mask and that's not what you see. You see a very, very small number of people that are getting more media attention than they should. They should just be arrested and thrown into I don't know, a big room and left there until this thing's over with. Bring them Kraft dinner and give them all a little blanket, and that's it. Let's see, that's what that's what I'd do if I were in charge. I'd just say, officers, go get them. We'll put them in over here, and we'll leave them there until this is all done with. Bring them some Kraft dinner 3 times a day, and you know, maybe some orange juice once a week. I don't know. So you know what I mean? Just they gotta know there are penalties to being stupid like this, right? When people don't, they start taking advantage of it, right? I was always brought up, you do a crime, you gotta be willing to do the time, right? So, whatever. Yeah. Anyway. Where are my guys? Where's everybody? Oh, they're beating up on that one, eh? Okay. What am I doing here? I get in there. So another development is they are taking applications from regular users to run servers for them, and there will be community servers run by an admin, and you know, unmodded servers, you know, base game, that kind of thing, right? So you should have some experience with running servers or stuff to that effect, that you're technical enough that you could do something, right? I could do it, but I don't have the, you know, I've got too many projects on the go right now to be adding another one that would take up way too much time, because you have to be responsible for things, right? That's probably part of it, and there's probably a lot of rules that they want you to follow. And I mean, there's an actual application. It's like, you know, and I can see why they do it. And people that ask, well, think about it, man. You get some real bad people that suddenly go and grab one of these and start causing all kinds of trouble. They could be using them for nefarious purposes, right? There's all kinds of shit reasons why they, you know, they want to know who you are, right? They want to know who you are. Same thing with YouTube, right? And other places, right? You got to have a certain amount of know who you are thing, right? The big problem with YouTube is they went way too long not giving a shit about, you know, who was on here, who was doing what, all that stuff, right? And now they got a big problem with that. And, you know, as long as somebody's bringing them advertising, like views and money like that, that's there you go, right? It's like I said, you know, if they're gonna be silly about things, you know, the Quebec government in Canada here wants people to buy locally, right? Food and everything else, right? Well, one of the best ways to do that would be to set up places like, you know, your own little YouTube thing. Oh, it looks like I'm all done here. Yeah. Okay. And you know, they would be able to get all the businesses together for advertising, and then you could have them have a small rate to start with, and then, you know, like, I could put together a plan for that government and do it in a realistic and good way, and it might be something to start something as competition to YouTube. Now, YouTube ain't gonna like that, because what do I do with you guys that are all sub to me, eh? You can't use an external link on anything in YouTube to send somebody elsewhere. Even if I stayed just with YouTube, but I had my own website, they don't even allow you to do that no more. I mean, it's the platform has gone from stupid to you know, I hate to say it, but it's, I look at you know, who are their top pairs and who are their, and this is supposed to be entertainment. What the fuck, really? You know, I get more entertainment with a channel with 10 people in it, and we're cracking some jokes and having some fun, you know, interaction, you know. These big channels, you know, they can hardly ever talk to you. It's like one person said, you know, when you got 100 people in your chat, you start missing the messages, right? And that's what's happened even with my internet provider, right? It used to be the owner would come onto the forum, you could talk right to him, right? And that's what the big appeal to it is. And now they seem to be gone more, it's like, okay, they're going more corporate. And the integration to that was when I saw them going into TV. As soon as I see any internet provider doing a TV streaming service, I know they are immediately turning into them. Okay? They've gone from an us to them. That's the migration there, right? I know. And I'm not buying their shit, you know? I'll make my own shit from now on. Like, I'll sit there I'll go to what is that one place, Art Station or whatever, where all those real high-end artists sit there. I'll grab a bunch of images, I put them in a directory, and I come up with some wacky stuff. I go to the Unreal Engine, make a scene, do some stuff, and then I record a little thing, and then I would look at that and go, hey, that's cool. But you guys never see that because I just don't upload so much anymore. I just stopped doing that, really, you know? Alright, you. Time to die. Who's next? You? Okay. Yeah. Your turn. Oh. Shit. Leave me alone. Don't hurt me. Yeah, you're next. not. I see the yellow one over there. Thank you. Turn around. Let's have a look at the dummies over here. Up and down. Oh, there's a green one. You just hang out in here and kill things as they show up. Yay! Triple cannon turret. Okay, head back to the thing here. I think it's a resource depot, yeah. And I get to talk to different people in Canada here that, you know, I haven't really engaged with. I thought it was funny too, eh? Yeah. As soon as you get this quarantine going, you get a whole bunch of people that normally wouldn't even give any of us a time of day. Suddenly it's like, hey, how's it going? You know, yeah. Hi, how are you? You know what? There was a post by the Russo brothers, right? And they're not Canadian, but they were talking about how they did this set in 3 days and it cost this much or whatever. And I kind of was, I says to them, I says, you know, you could have probably done it in half a day and save yourself 10 times the money had you used something like the Unreal Engine and some VR technology. You know, little things like that, right? You know, not that I want to help anyone in Hollywood, but you know what? When they're that stupid and they're wasting their frickin' money, that means all this shit is more expensive, right? And we can spend money on the right things, like people, rather than, you know, technology and shit. Anyway, who am I, right? I'm just a man, right? You know, you see, that's what I am. Yeah. And I'm docked already. Get over there. I can't see it now. Can't see it. There. Yeah, I got lots of stuff, eh? Say hi to the chat. Hey, Willie. How you been, man? I saw you playing that new, what do you call it, Aliens game there a little bit. It's a neat looking game, actually. Yeah. Yeah. Well, the good news is the store owner there, the word's out that you can get takeout from them now. More people are starting to show up to the shop, so I'm gonna next month. I'm gonna start into that being completely poor thing and just save money and just see where it goes. In about 3 months, maybe I'll have enough for something decent around here rather than this clunker of a machine. It just, no offense, but it's starting to aggravate me a bit about how the amount of time. Like the Unreal Engine people, they did a really cool thing. They gave out a landscape pack. It's got like two different packs. It's got like 20-30 different demo maps in it you can play with and stuff like that. The problem is the way the new version of the engine works is it has to load in all the shaders when you load one of these maps. And there's 98,000. I mean, it's just I haven't done it yet. I mean, I got that pack at the beginning of the month. I still haven't done it. I showed one map that I think I managed to get, and I got the first 5 of them done. That's it. 5 out of 20 maps, right? And the shooter games in C++, I thought it was a blueprint thing. And it turns out that in order to add maps to that thing, I'm going to have to do some C++ coding and messing with shit, which that's another set of worms altogether. Now, mind you, it can be done, and the one explanation a guy used and said it doesn't work, and I tried about half a dozen just quick little changes to blueprints, and now those don't work. So you got to actually go right into the frickin' code. Psh, I don't like that. It's not cool. Like, you have a list of maps. Why isn't there just a single file? You can open it up. Here's a list of maps. There you go. That would have been something cool, but they hamstrung it by hard coding it. So, you know, I have to recompile the game and that area of the file and fix that shit. And then, you know, I've got something that I can call my own, right? It just means whatever. I mean, I can... Yeah, I might as well just start from scratch and do my own things. Just kind of like when I did that little beach program there with the... You can build something on the beach. You know, that was just inspired by, okay, everybody's stuck inside. Here's a vacation spot for you. Go build a hut. Okay, Gilligan? I should put a guy that looks like Skipper on the island, eh? Or like, you know, Gilligan's Island, have like a little cast and crew there. A little wrecked ship. You know? Join us here each week, my friends. Yeah. They're not saying anymore. I got a copyright strike. Yeah. Okay, what do we got here? A couple more minutes. I'm not going to be too long today. I just sort of testing this out. Lots of money, lots of resources. I'll show you what I was up to. All these different things in here are scans, right? Giant little dragon. Yeah, eh? See? Bring that into the game. It's another spaceship. Believe it or not, this is from Star Trek. It'll take a minute to load in. It's an interceptor class battle cruiser. It's something that sits in the home system of Earth. It's purely a military vessel. That's why it doesn't really go anywhere. Maybe it won't load. Haha. Oh. Go back over here. Come on, load. You can do it. Just load it. I want to look at it. The problem with these load-ins, it makes the size of things massive, and you have no control over that. And here's a neat one too. See, like this vessel here. Will it load? Maybe it won't. I'll let it go for a second. But and the other problem is you need to take the mesh into something like Blender or your 3D software and make sure that it's aligned in a certain direction, so that when you see, look at that, look at the detail on that, eh? Not bad. But it's huge. It's not the normal size of a Cylon fighter. This is like 10 times the size of this vessel that I'm using, right? And I had this one mesh, and for some reason it won't load in right. I don't know why. It's there's two of them that do this, and they're both Klingon vessels, and it's probably why you don't see them in here. But I do have another one of these, but the thing is, it's in parts, so I've got to take it into Blender and rebuild it. Like you can see here how it looks like it's been battle damaged, right? It's like this has been attacked and damaged, but it doesn't look that way when you load it into Blender, right? And I don't know why that is. It's the same with this one here. It's got these holes in the wings and some of the other areas, and I don't know. Software just don't like it, I guess. Issues, you know. Well, food bank tomorrow. Yeah. You can go to 2 of them here in Peterborough, so hit one tomorrow and then the next one the next day, and then that's that. I'll have enough food for the first week of the month. That's how I start off my being cheap. And then go again in the middle afterwards, and then you've got yourself 3 weeks into the month, and then you only got to buy a little bit of food at the end of it all. See what I mean? Like, look at how damaged that is. It's like there's holes in the wings and stuff. That's why I didn't try that. One thing I was going to do, right, was take Pinhead here, chop off the bottom part here from the headpiece, and then put one of these arms on the bottom here. Have it look like he's reaching for you, right? Master arm 2. I think it was this one here I was going to use. Yeah, then you just see, you put the arm on him. It'd be even neat to put on the front of this ship, but it's just way too big, you know. That's what I mean, right? Like, this is a free model that you can get at free3d.com, right? So, personal, non-commercial use, okay, yippee, right? If I was doing something with this, right, you know, in a game like this, who cares, right? Yeah. But anyway. Yeah. That's that. That was what I was mucking around with. One of the things. The other stuff is things in the Unreal Engine that I'm just not wanting to show anybody yet for a while. I put out a 2 different screenshots on Twitter for somebody to have a look at. Let's see. I think we're done here, are we? Get over there. Pick up my loot. Oh yeah. Couple seconds. There we go. Actually, I should sell some of that. I don't need to. I'm looking for a bite. Aha. Who's want something? Excuse me a second while I do something like... Thank you. Ooh, look at the loot that came off him. Come on, get over there and get that. Jesus, man, I can't drive. Ah. Take you out of the way. You need to hurt me. for that. Let's go over here and get the rest of this junk. Don't worry about that one. I'll take that though, whatever it is. Turret control, nice. Yay. There's more stuff over there, I can see it, I think. Okay, what's that? Aha. Gotta get the green. There you go. Okay, now where am I going? I don't know. I'll just head up this way. Am I stuck here on this border? I guess I am, eh? Oh, something's attacking me. Big bleed. Big bleed is open. Let's see, do we want to engage this? It's the end of you. Come on, hit him. You. This is starting to hurt. Let's move. Sure. Pay yourselves before we're done battle. Typical workers. There we go. Got him. I'll take that. Get over there. Still losing stuff, eh? Trying to shoot at me.
Jesus, just a ton of these guys, eh? You get friends? There we go. Okay, more loot over here, so we'll go pick it up. I am losing a fair chunk of shields doing all this. Go. You're next. Get that. Come on, move. Got him. Jeez. Oh, I see what they're doing. They're summoning people. I gotta kill them all quick. Yeah. Sneaky little bugger. Alright. I'm gonna go kill this guy. There, no more friends. Enough of that shit. Okay, you want to run away? I'll go over here. Fuck your loot and your dead buddies. I think that's it. That's a lot of them. That's a lot of them. All right. Just want to have a look at some stuff here. We'll go there. There we go. Oh. Yeah. Coffee. Just wondering where it went. I got too many coffee cups around here. It's time for a cleanup. Clean up and out for it. Yep. Let's see if they got garbage bags finally at the grocery store. The good thing is that you get all these little bags from like when you go do your takeout, so you got stuff to put them in, but still, they don't like you throwing your garbage out that way. See, up in Canada here, we're supposed to use clear bags so they can see what's inside it, and then you're supposed to sort it, right, and all that jazz. And I'm like, yep. Okay, where am I going here? Over here. First things first. Brakes, 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 brakes. Oh, oof, oof. Jeez. This craft is drifting too much. Oh yeah. Wait a minute, solar panel. Ah, I went the wrong one. It's behind it. Yeah, it figures. That's what I'm at. Wait a minute.
that's the solar plant. Then this is, god damn it. There. Uh-huh. Excuse me. So I might try out this Shogun 2 game, muck around with it. Do that later. I got it working, so it's then a situation of what settings I want to have it at. Oh boy. Just can't have any peace, eh? Where is it? Where is it? Dead already. Oh no, there they are. Here, just muck you right up. Oh, they ran away. Look at that. They chickened out. As soon as we came over, they went, oh, no way, man. There's too many of them in here. That's funny. Maybe one of them got wrecked, it looks like. What's all in here? Anything I can mine? Yeah, maybe. Yep. Alright. Let's do that. Yeah, my guy's out. Yeah, this morning some crazy nut running down the street trying to run at people. I have these biker rings and I had my hand in my pocket and I pulled my hand out and he looked down at my hand and then he backed off of me. That's why I know these people just start shit just for the kick, you know, because they think they can get away with it. He had to step another foot closer to me. I would have just let him have it, then let the authorities deal with him. I'm not putting up with mental cases in a pandemic. I'll kill you. I'm sorry, but it's you or me, right? You want to start acting like a frickin' stupid tool? When there's a quarantine order and you're not supposed to be out running around like a fool? Okay. I'm on my way to get takeout food so I can survive, and here you are messing with me. This is a whole new side of the neighborhood ain't seen of me, you see. I've always been nice, calm, cool, collected, blah blah blah, right? I get my little bits of frustration out, but you know what? Comes down to survival, man. You see a whole new side of people. Yep. I'm not saying any more to that. Like in what universe would you go up to someone who has hair halfway down to their ass, a beard, looks like a freaking biker, wearing biker rings and wearing a leather jacket? Why would you bother that person? Would that sound like a healthy maneuver in a pandemic? That's why I know there's just too many. We've allowed mental retardation to breed too much here in society, and I don't know what the solution is because I don't know if we can afford to put them all in enough big hockey arenas. That's what we should do. Put them in hockey arenas, little cellular rooms. Give them an Xbox, and they'll just sit there like woohoo, and have this little hole. Drop a little thing of weed every once in a while. Hit a button or something. They'll just be going right out of their minds in happiness. That's why this so-called legalization of weed, I don't know if it's such a good idea. I really don't. I don't see it as a good idea. I don't. It allows too many nut bar people that were already nuts to just go freely, really wandering about. And mind you, there's the rest of us that, can, or other people that can casually do stuff here and there and function perfectly well, right? And there's even people that seem to be quite normal that do it all the time. But there are people, and you can't lie about that. You gotta stop lying, guys. Just for your own sake. Because there are some people that shouldn't be smoking that shit. Shouldn't be doing any drugs or alcohol. They're fucked in the brain. To begin with. And therein lies the problem. I'll be right back. I'm just going to let me just move myself into an area where I can do some mining here. There we go. Speaking of rolling up cigarettes, I gotta get some papers off me roommate. Good man, good man. There's a new word. Hell yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so how is everybody else doing? Everyone having some fun, getting the new games, getting some freebies, and enjoying themselves. I even put out a little mini game there. It's got a little island, and you got some ocean, and you can build a little hut or whatever, and you can make it out of wood, and there's actually an upgrade there. You can turn it into stone. It's actually a pretty neat little thing, and I was thinking of taking some of the this is one of the projects that I wanted to try and do, is to take some of the really high-end Quixel scans and try and import some of those objects into this tool, so that you would have an optimized building tool for your level designs, and thus you would have something that would not only be useful to yourself but to the community in general. It would be something that would allow people to be able to build levels in a much quicker fashion. Once you have all these shaders compiled, right, for shit, right, then you can just ding, 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 right click here, right click there, go to this menu, that menu, and it's in a wheel, right, and it'd be something that you could then turn into a game maybe, or you could use it in your, in a workflow, right? It's just an idea, so that, because I'm looking at, you have to add this project in, and then this project in, and that project in. But if you had one thing that had it all, and then you just chunked it all up how they did within the, as either a plug-in to the engine or added right into a level, well, you can just add this thing into the level, then you just use it, and it's done. And there's a way that you can share shaders across platforms that I was looking at, that it's just the complexity of some things is starting to give me a little bit of a headache. And with a PC that's
going on 9 years old. I mean, I'm getting left behind. There's technologies I can't do unless I have Windows 10. They're not even doing them for Linux or, it used to be you could this Unreal was for all the engines, right? Like all the platforms. Well, it's getting chunked up now. I mean, it's I don't know what the goal there is because when they start doing some of the 425 stuff on Linux, then I'm going to it. Until then, I just don't feel. I'm just hearing way too many bad things about Windows 10. Okay, way too many. That's not even to boot with at the end of the month here, the U.S. Senate votes on the Earn It Act if they haven't already made it law, and then all U.S. software, hardware, and online services like YouTube, Google, Apple, uh, everything gets backdoored, whether you like it or not. And then when Hacker Boy finds out, he screws you. There's nothing you can do about it because the government allows him to do it. And it will happen, okay? It will happen. It just and it's causing a layer of expenses to the regular person that is no longer needed and makes this all so expensive that eventually, if enough of these things start happening, people will just say it's too dangerous to use the freaking internet no more. Crazy, man. Just crazy. Come on, guys, get in my ship. The sector's being attacked, or was attacked. Am I full up now, too? Should be. Close enough. Anyway, so yeah. The oil issue is I'm surprised more people aren't realizing, okay, first of all, oil literally has no cost at the moment. Why is it then, when you go to the pumps, right? Let's say you do have to go to work or you have to do something, it's still like 80 cents a liter, okay? Or 70 cents or 60 cents, That's I'd like to know who's making all this money because at the price per barrel, okay, that that they buy it at, okay, of $1 a barrel is each penny, okay, and it's been trading well below 30 bucks a barrel for a while. So for them to say 60 cents at the pump is not appropriate. There's a lot of these little issues in behind this COVID-19, and nobody's talking about them because they are totally going for grabbing as much as they can. Everybody. Okay? I'm not kidding you. Okay? It's a complete rip-off of the entire planet. And then the Pentagon comes out with their fake UFO shit. And I was looking at some posts and we were talking about it, how the way the camera pans in one of the videos shows that it's fake. Because nothing on Earth can actually move like that. Okay? But in a video game it can. And what I was trying to tell somebody else is what the Pentagon's really up to there. It isn't that they're trying to fake you out on UFOs. They want to see which of you are gullible enough to believe this shit. Because then the next time they spout out some bullshit, you're the target audience. Okay? Alright? I've seen their so-called UFOs that are drones. And they're weather drones. Okay, guys? They're meant to be doing something with the weather. How do you know that? Well, because of the way they acted. Okay? Aliens don't fly to a planet, okay, 30 or 40 of them, and then just circle around, making the clouds go into a big hole. Okay? Because that's what you're doing, is you're making weather patterns when you do that. It's got nothing to do with what an alien... There's absolutely no reason an alien spacecraft would do that. Ever. Like, what I do is I go to an alien planet, I see the civilization people there, and we just get into a big circle and fly around in it for like 10 or 15 minutes, and then we just stop and let the clouds float over us. Yeah. And it's ironic that I found a pattern that goes back to 1890s, okay, for mass UFO sightings or increased sightings every 8 or 9 years. Not 8.5 years, not 7 years, not 6 years. It's either 8 years or 9 years. And it goes this pattern all the way up till now. The last time there was a big set of sightings was 8 or 9 years ago. 9 years ago. And guess what happened shortly thereafter? SARS. Okay? And you can put them with these kinds of things. And it sounds like a conspiracy, but it's just a pattern I found. I find patterns, okay, guys? I do it with code, right? And I just happened to have... We were debunking UFO websites, and we went through this one website where we just destroyed it. Every single UFO thing there was fake, okay? The only thing that wasn't fake was one item that was down in Peru that they said was landing docks because it was 12 miles inland and 2 miles up the side of a mountain. And I say fake in a way that it's not that it's fake, it's that the reasoning is fake, okay? You have to learn about plate tectonics and how the plates move, okay? Every year, say a centimeter or two or something jazzy like that. Then you got to look up current oceanic data on ocean levels and what they can predict back and what they've seen in the past and what they can say about it. And you kind of try and take that little city, bring it down to the coast, and have the ocean levels rise. And the only time it even comes close to fitting, and this is the trippy part, was 110,000 years ago. And so, yeah. That was an anomaly. That's what they call an anomaly. Nobody understands it. And then, about a month later, an American with some people down there found a 12,000-year-old city on the coast. Right? And it had no armies, no fortifications of any kind, housed a couple of thousand people, and they know it traded with Japan because there were some petals in there that only grow, these certain flowers grow on Japan. And they were also trading over the mountains into Brazil and up into as far as northeast North America, because there's certain things that only grow up there. So whatever it was, there's well-established trade routes, right? That's why a lot of these so-called globalist trade people, they want to, they think that in order to have massive amounts of peace, everyone needs to be trading something, which there is a certain amount of idea there. I got something you want, you got something I need, let's make a deal. The difference here is that what we need is fair trade, not necessarily free trade. Okay? Free trade leads to abuses by one side or the other, right? I don't know how this economy is going to work in the future, but it's going to be an interesting whatever. Okay, I'll get my coffee out of the way before I spill it. Real world problems for the Space Commander. There we go. There we are. So yeah. We'll head back over to this thing. Speed up that little boost and just kind of glide over. I've also started doing this little blender course that a guy gave out for free, and I'm gonna
master those sections. And then I'm probably going to give that guy a couple of bucks and do maybe a little more. He's got more advanced stuff too, and he does some really cool stuff. German fella, CG, I forget his whole nickname. To look it up again. He's doing a really good thing though, and this is what I say. There's a ton of talent around here in YouTube. It's just spread out all over the place, where there's very few people that gather it together, and want to really start doing something to entertain. Like I said, it would be so cool to have 20 or 30 different people, and what we would do is, if we were really good at what we could do, to be able to do an animated something every week and put one of these episodes on each person's channel every week. By the time you're done, 30 weeks, right? Or do it every 2 weeks and then put it one on a channel. By the time a year's gone, right? People will be talking about it. Even if it's half-assed, you know? Because it's better than nothing, right? And advertisers would love shit like that, right? And YouTube would be getting a production and something that Netflix would want, right? You know, like it's one of those things where you go, well, yeah, and then the biggest problem with it is everybody's got their own ideas of what they want to do, and everybody's got their own ideas for doing everything, and that's the problem is, in order to have a project like that, there has to be one person who would end up being a boss and saying, here's a vision, let's try this, and then work from there. That's because if you have everybody who's a chief, and there's no Indians or natives, I'm trying to sound, you know what I mean, but anyway, there's a saying, too many chiefs, not enough Indians, and that's what the meaning is, right? Then nothing gets done, right? And that's the problem I had talking to a lot of people. Everyone wanted to do something like that, but they had their own idea of what they wanted to do, right? And I'm just gonna end up doing my own thing then, I guess, right? It's sad because there's enough that I could chunk out for work, right? In that sense, to, you know, really get things going. And this is the thing, in any computer field, there are specializations in various areas that if you have to do each of them, it's going to take you twice as long as somebody who's specialized at it, even if you end up being as good as them, because you got to learn this, do this, forget that, learn this, do this, forget that, you know, and you get into that habit of doing that, and it just takes more time, right? I used to do that a lot with coding, and it was like you're switching around between some different computer languages, and you gotta get your brain into one thing and then stop it and get into a different type of thing, right? It's just one of those things. What do we got going on here for YouTube? I like how it just shrinks this browser. It kind of goes silly. Yeah, and you know, ever since YouTube, my whole YouTube thing is just completely, you know, the traffic has crashed, right? I had a 4,000 thing video, and then they gave me all that shit, right? Screwed up my channel and everything else, and now, you know, what do I get? I get nothing out of that. See, this is why one of the reasons why I'm not really like I say, Willie, I'm just gonna put stuff up here when I feel like putting it up here and doing stuff like that, because I don't see. I'm hearing other people getting monetized. Good for you. The amount of money you get for being monetized is beyond slave labor. You cannot live on that money. So why, you know, what are you doing? You know, that's kind of my attitude, right? The things I do, I should be making some serious bucks at. Why would I? Why would I want to have 10,000 people watch something I have and get $30 for it? Right? When I could put it on my own website and, you know, market it out and probably get 100,000 people pay me $1. Then I got 100 grand. What the hell? You know, or even I could charge them 10 cents and get more money. I could charge them a penny. You know, like that's how little YouTube gives everybody, and it's disgusting actually. And they make billions and billions of dollars. And what they do is they parade these big YouTubers around, and they make it sound like it's a great thing, right? Got to be a little bit more realistic in what you're doing and why you're doing it, right? Would I see any of the money I would ever get from YouTube as coffee money? Uh, Maybe if you got enough of it to pay an internet bill or buy a part when you need it, that's about it, right? Where you do make the money then once you get monetized is then you get into yourself like merchandising and stuff like that and memberships and things like that, right? That's where you're going to make a little bit more of a buck, right? But I don't like that, you see, because I was sitting there and I'm one of the guys, and it kind of pissed me off even, okay, who is always in this guy's channel, always helping him out getting watch time and always doing that. And I just didn't have any money to get a membership with him, and this COVID happens. I don't want to throw my money around, right? Because I didn't know at the time what was going to happen. Anyway, so when he started his memberships, it's like he started doing streams just for them. Well, that's class warfare right there. Okay, you now when you pay money to see something, you're removing yourself from the rest of us. Okay, it's something to remember that people need to know. Okay, what you need to do is make sure that you say, okay, I'm gonna have this stream for my memberships, and then I'll do the same kind of thing, but for everybody. Or that you're also going to put the stream public. Because if you don't, people are, that really just turns off the regular users, right? Like, why would I bother giving you any watch time or whatever, you know? You're taking your content and you're not letting me see it. Like, okay. Unless I pay you, right? I mean, my internet cost me money, you know? Like, that's part of this whole thing is people are not equating to how much value they are, right? Think about it. If I watch 10 hours of YouTube a day, 365 days, right? That's 3,650 watch time hours. Okay? How many ads do you see in that, right? Let's say I don't have my ad blocker on. Okay? Just saying. Okay? How much money is that? And then you can tell yourself how valuable you are, depending on what your worth is. A lot of people don't do this kind of thing, right? Right? Suddenly you begin to realize how much of a scam a few things are, right? The whole idea of advertising is to pay as little as possible to get you seen, right? That's what advertisers do. They nickel and dime. And listen, I used to make $2,000. You know how YouTube people, you know, they get what, $3 per 1,000 views, or something like, or 30. What is it? Yeah, it works out to like 10 cents or 30 cents per 1,000 views now, or something. It's even less than it used to be. But let's just say for argument's sake, it's $1 per 1,000 views. Okay. Because it has changed since COVID. It's gone down. And so $1 per 1,000 views. Think about this. I used to make $2,300 a month okay? Back in the 90s, right? $2,300 a month. That was just from clicks advertising or whatever you want to call it. Okay, click through ads, right? $2,300 a month. So what's that equate? That's like 2.5 million visitors a month. Okay, just think about that for a minute. You know. Now, mind you, my content was great controversial, so of course it's going to be like, ooh. I think we're done over there now. Let's go get our stuff. That's the thing, right? So I know what the certain people are doing when they do certain content, and it's not entertainment, okay? It's not. All right. Anyway. I see entertainment as people having a good time when they see it, or laughing, joking if it's alive or something like that, or being able to interact with people. And there we go. Let's go here and sell some of that. 104. Where is that up here? There we go. Okay. 421. Why am I missing some of that? It's weird. Must have accidentally sold some. Or I needed it for a repair. Anyway, so yeah. So like I said, my main focus is just to save up for new hardware that, you know, and take things to the next level, as they say. I'll go from there. Until then, I'm just gonna muck around, have some fun, piss around, and just enjoy myself, you know? I gotta stop trying to do these compiles with the Unreal Engine, because one of these days it's just gonna melt my PC. And as the temperatures warm up, it's going to be harder to keep this bloody machine cool. That's another problem that's going to start happening. And with the way the supply chains are right now, how things are stretched, it's not that they don't have items, it's that it's hard for them to ship them now because of all the bullshit. Like people are going to be screaming when Sony says, okay, we were going to ship 5 or 6 million units, and then when it ends up being 1 or 2 million and 3 million, 4 million people don't get their units, it's going to be a real event. But what's going to happen is you're going to have all these people with them that'll go into the streaming end of it, and they'll be doing all beautiful times, right? While the rest of us are all screwed and, you know, whatever. That's the other part. I just kind of, I was so jealous of all those guys that were playing Total War Warhammer 2 for all those years and stuff like that, and I couldn't afford this $300 game, right? So that's what it costs with all the DLC when it's not on sale. Then last December it went on sale for $43 for that, and I got one other DLC, and that was it. You know, so anyway. Then they give out this game that requires Flash today, which they damn well know. Like they can't say there's an excuse, okay, that they didn't know Flash. Nobody has Flash on their computer. Okay, and etc. Because I go to this one tower game every day when I'm kind of like when I'm doing something and I got a little bit of, you know, RAM or something else. I just go play this little tower game, and it's in Flash. Google just comes up in a red thing saying this is disallowed, blah blah blah. You got to allow this. You got to do this. Blah, blah.
So there's all these warnings, right? Average person would just freak out and go, ah, right? But because I know the site and I've been there for years and years and years, I know there's probably not much of an issue. And it's the same thing with that game. The thing is, when you get into the multiplayer of it, that's where Flash can suddenly be an issue, right? I would say this to everybody who's going to play Shogun number 2. You either play with somebody you actually know, okay, in multiplayer, or stick to single player for security reasons, okay? All right? And by me saying that, don't come back crying to me if you got hacked in a multiplayer game, okay? I'm just saying that because it needs to be said. I mean, thing's what, 8, 9 years old? This is the good thing is it's as old as my PC, which means guess what? I can play it. Yeah, baby. I'll play it at some decent settings for a change. Anyway. Yeah, let's see here. What else did I want to do today here? Okay. I could go back up here by now, I bet you, and buy something. Little area of the galaxy. Got to get all the way up there somehow, and there's like a barrier, and I can't get in there. And they apparently fixed the, and you're in creative mode, which I'm not, by the way. You couldn't do the tutorial or some shit. I'll have to go and test that next. Just want to keep an eye on what they're saying and doing. So they fixed something in a script somewhere, right? We were joking around about some of this AI from YouTube that's running things. I says, what we ought to be doing, everybody? We should get require 10% of everyone's super chats to buy hazmat suits for the Google employees so that they can go in and do their job. That's what I think. Once again, though, who am I? Is that an orange one? Ooh, almost missed it. Come here, you. Engine upgrade. Ooh, I like those. Oh, I'll get them. Trying to hurt that guy over there, are you? Gotcha. Oh, wait. I can't focus on him. Jesus. Oh. Couldn't target that guy. There we go. You're done. Get up, up, up. Gotcha. I was worried I might hit the guy beside him, but anyway. Guess not. Yeah, yeah, there we go. So let's see here. I'll check the chat. See how long I've been going. I don't want to go too long here. Yeah, I'm the same way now, Willie. I used to have some grander dreams of doing some other things, but I think it's like I'm doing things for my own. Think about it like this. Everyone here is self-isolating, right? Well, I got a bad back. I'm kind of like that, I'm already, not going out and running around. That's why I liked when Pink Peach went to Egypt and showed off an area that I'd never seen in any pictures before. Stuff like that, right? I like to see new things. I had a friend on G+. He worked for National Geographic. He showed me thousands of pictures you're never going to see in those books or any TV show that were amazing, right? And he was a writer, wrote 150 books. Good guy to pick his brain about how to do things, software,
different, all this stuff, right? And this is what I mean. I just get lucky, and I get to talking and meeting, all these real clever individuals. I like clever. I like smart people, and I just do. And I like people to have fun. Sometimes I'm not having fun, or it might seem that way. But if you're not having fun, I'm not having fun. That's the way I am. I feel better when everyone else is feeling better. That's the way it is. That's just part of the way I've been for many, many, many years. But yeah, I'm just doing, like I said, I just do stuff for myself now and just muck around with things, and that's just the end of it. I mean, why stress yourself out over, having to do all kinds of other things when I can't tell if that's just a okay, it's just an orange sign. When here, hit that, will you? Okay, there we go. Body check. Anyway, yeah. Well, and the other point is that people, there are two or three different kinds of people. There's those kinds of people that you meet who genuinely you end up being friends with and would help you and without any, worry about anything back. And then there are those people who expect a reward back. And then there are people who pretend to be those other two and are just trying to get something from you, and then they just run off and go away. All right? And believe me, I've run into enough of those types, the third category here on YouTube, that it irritates me when other people, okay, take advantage of others, right? That's one of the things, right? Like I have basically a gaming channel, and I had a guy that had created a certain IP, and he was in a live stream with a friend of mine who does comic books and stuff, and they were doing also a comic book of this IP. And I said, well, wouldn't you like to do a live stream? I said, oh, well, I got 3D special effects, and I do gaming and stuff. Oh, yeah, okay, I wouldn't mind doing a live. Let's talk and set this up. And we talked for a bit, and, So then I go back into his live stream, and the first thing out of his mouth was, well, the only reason I'll do it is if I can steal some of your subs. And I went, you don't have to be. That's kind of an ignorant way of saying, that would be expected that you might gain some subs if you were a decent enough guy. But when you're an asshole like that, you're not gonna. I just pulled down the little promotional video I did and said, forget it. I already don't like the way that guy goes. And then he started controversy with his friends, and suddenly he's got religion, one of those types. That's exactly what Trump was talking about. Those people that will give you shit using religion and then don't use it themselves or preach it or live it themselves. It's kind of hypocritical. That's the word. And then I seen one of those. And then I seen another place that does a lot of channel growth for people suddenly advertising the guy, and I said, you're going to end up having some drama here if you advertise that guy. And they told me not to bring drama here, and I was like, I'm just trying to warn you. And you want to be a jerk like that to me? Okay, well, I won't go bothering you anymore. Now they don't do that anymore. They're pulling back into their own thing, and they're doing that membership kind of crap thing. And I'm like, there you go. Now we see your colors. You see, it doesn't take long, eh? I've only known them maybe 6 or 7 months, and as soon as I had that 4,000 view video, suddenly people popping up that never drop in and never drop by suddenly are saying hi and everything else, because they think, you're going to do this, you're going to start doing this a lot more. Well, I'm capable of doing a hell of a lot more than a 4,000 view video if I really wanted to. Okay, I do what that Captain, what was it? Not Captain Fantastic. Captain Obvious or something like that. He does the blender thing.
He goes away for like a month or two, and then he pops up and does a, crazy looking videos. I mean, I could just do that if all I wanted to do was get views all the time, right? I gave up a long time ago worrying about, getting monetized or anything else. What's really whacked is the average subscriber that I have, their subs now sits at 6,000 apiece. So the 480 some odd people I have, okay, if you multiply that out by 6,000, it's over 2.5 million people, okay, that they have themselves. And, my largest sub sits at about 330,000 people. So, people are keeping an eye on things, right? Because of, maybe one day I'll do something interesting, right? I mean, I could have not advertised all that Unreal Engine stuff and just come out one day with a whole bunch of wacky stuff and just ran off with it, right? I could have not defended Epic Games about doing that, and the misuse of the term exclusivity on a PC with these so-called Steam wannabe game developers, because that's what was going on, guys. I mean, there was a concerted effort to do that to Epic Games, all right? Because these guys had operations or endeavors that were involving Steam. And once it was exposed, right? Everybody kind of just shut up for a while, and then they kind of went away, and now they slowly but surely they sneak back into how they do things too. I mean, I got better things to do than to be, worrying about it. But this is one of the reasons I do some of this, is so that the rest of you can stay informed about things too, right? I can't look at all the news. I mean, I got friends around the world, right? One lady in South Korea I talked to there, that's that's a scary place to live in Asia, all that area right now. They took it bloody serious over there, way serious than we are over here, and that's why it's not going to last as long over there. And they're going to be back to bloody work and making money, while the rest of these morons are going out protesting. Sorry, but it come back to that, but that irritates me, man. And then I saw this post a while back about cats and dogs being able to get it, and yeah, they can. And they can transmit it to the other cats and dogs. But they didn't go far enough in the study to see if it can transmit from a dog or a cat to a human. I mean, I think it's pretty assumed that if I coughed on a dog, the virus is on the dog, and the dog goes wandering off, and you're standing beside the dog, right? Or a cat, and it gets on the grass, and you go through that grass, maybe you got it on you. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a biologist to really get in. I'd have to go look at how this stuff moves around in aerosols and different things like that. And actually look at the science, rather than just listen to CNN and Fox. Oh my God. Yeah, Trump blew it. Trump blew it when he talked about bleach and disinfectant, man. That's what happens when you put a mouthpiece in charge of things. He can't help himself, eh? He's got to have all the attention. And he's gonna get and that kind of crap. I don't mind. I'll say it. Another person over to the right of me has every right to go kill themselves, because none of us are going to stop them if they really wanted to, although we don't want them to hurt themselves. Okay, I just wanted to say that.
But if they really want to do it, they're going to do it. What they don't have the right to is to take me with them. Okay? That's when the bullshit ends. Okay? That's why I say the things I do, and I get a little cross about it, right? Bunch of little gangsters down there at the corner there, and I'm telling them, I says, I see anybody protesting, I'm going to walk over and clock you right in the head and say, get the fuck back in your little house now. I says, I'll let the cops deal with me later, okay? They'll probably give me a pat in the back and give me a ride home. You know? Like, don't make me do their job, you pieces of shit. You know what I mean? I'm not one of them. Don't make me into one, you fuckers. I give you the story about how you know, I can give you all kinds of stories, but anyway. Right, eh? We won't go there. We won't go there. Let's see, I think we can start mining right here. This would be a good spot, right? Alright. Whoops. Whoops. I think I attacked that by accident. There we go. Doesn't take long, does it? Ha 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 ha. What's interesting is if you mine out a whole sector, leave it for a day, they come back. This is how the game makes it perpetually, you know, forever. Now I was even playing Median XL, which is the Diablo 2 add-on. The problem is they did an update, and now OBS doesn't work quite right with it. It will run, but as soon as you Alt or Tab out, it goes black screens, and then it goes back after. So I don't know why that is. I've never seen any game at all do that, ever. And yeah, I actually died there for the first time. It was crazy. I was fighting on the end boss on the first act. She killed me. She killed me. I was like, whoa. I guess I'm going that way with everything, eh? Okay, boys, keep it going. Didn't say stop. Not break time yet. Union boss is floating over there by them rocks over there. Yeah, and I tried to install Just Cause 4 and it wouldn't work because it needs Windows 10, so I didn't bother. And that's the thing, there's a lot of games coming out now that are just Windows 10 and they're not... Sorry, Microsoft, you blew it, you know. You're the one that made that crappy piece of shit operating system, not me. You could have took the user interface for Windows 7 and parked it on top of that, and maybe you might have got away with more and used a little less invasive telemetry on people. And people would have still bought your operating system like they always had, instead of doing it this weird way where you're just stealing data. They're just trying to make it so that the Earn It Act and SOPA and or whatever it was called would pass. That's all they're doing. They just want to spy on us all. It's just a bunch of peeping toms. Microsoft is sick. It's sick. The people that work there are sick. They're sick in the brain. Okay? They believe that it's okay to spy on people through their windows. Okay? It's the same thing. Looking through my computer is the same thing as looking through my window. You do that about children, you're a peeping Tom and you go to prisons. You do that, you come to my window here and you did that, you go to a prison. Right? But you do that on your computer and your internet, give them a raise, man. Have them work for the government. Government's all peeping Toms. That's why you don't hear about crimes like that anymore. It's because they all work for the goddamn government. Can't convince me otherwise, because that's 100% factual. Then you turn around, there's some abuse where some hacker stole the data because he found some hole that they had, and I guess it goes right back to the Windows XP days, man. I'm not gonna go into it. I could show you the damn rootkit that the Sony. I could show you the source code that Sony doesn't have for the rootkit that they put on the Coldplay CDs. That then they had all that problems taking it off because they didn't have the source code. I could show you the source code of that. It was one of 4 other people that had it. The 5th guy, he didn't have it. He leaked it to Sony. Guess what? Didn't work out so well, did it? I still remember that. Okay. They've come a long way in doing better things lately. I better bring these guys in before they get themselves killed. Come on, guys. Over here. Come on. Everybody in. This is what I mean about how slow it is for them to get inside your ship. Alright? See, this guy's going to start shooting. Away. Is he making a run over here? No. Okay. So now I gotta sit here still. Oh, this guy's too close. Dead. Okay, he's far enough away. Far enough. Oh, this guy. Now you see why I got a spread of weapons like that. You don't have to aim. Point and shoot, boys. Point and shoot. Let them have it. See, I wouldn't have just like a gun, right? I'd have like a 20-barreled gun, right? So then I aim it at you, I know I'm never going to miss. Bang! You're fucking gone. Who's next? That's my shotgun. This is my boomstick. I wonder what what's his name's up to. The last thing I saw of the guy that played Evil Dead was he was on a beach in the middle of somewhere else in a hot tub right when the COVID shit started, and he said, "That's it. Guess where I am, everybody." He says, "I'm staying right here." He's on his own little island. Yeah. Better not be Epstein's Island #2. That's all I gotta say. It is funny though how many YouTube actors and Hollywood people though have suddenly popped themselves up on YouTube and make themselves right at home, eh? You know. But they're human beings too. We'll give them that much. Some of them. Some of them. Some of them, I gotta wonder, eh? Maybe they are space aliens. I heard a rumor about that. Heard a rumor from a friend of a friend of a friend of a uncle of a neighbor who said, yeah.
Oh, I'd be good at starting shit if I wanted to. I could be the worst troll in the universe. Because I'd fabricate all the websites and everything else that people would be using for sources and everything else. You wouldn't have to worry about Russians or Chinese. It'd be like they'd be trying to find me all day long. Like War of the Worlds back in the day. Way back in the day. Oh no. I am just softening up my tobacco. Yes, 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 Pinky. What are we going to do today, Pinky? We're going to take over the galaxy. Wasn't I just fighting you, pirates? Maybe if I kill 500 of them, they'll go away, right? Soon as you mention the word rolling yourself a cigarette, bang, everything attacks you. Oh, they really want to pick on this guy, do they? I'll ram right into him. He shot a torpedo at me, did he? Ow. 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 Bye-bye. Get away from that ship, will you? There we go. Gotta be careful of doing that, because if you hit their ship, then you know, your allies are going, "You hurted us! Ah, we don't like you so much anymore." Gives safe space a new meaning, man. That's right. Alright. What I need is a research lab. I don't know where it is. Research lab, where are you? Usually one of these things. Out in the middle of nowhere. Nope. What's that? Nope. 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 Well, I'll go over here. Come on. Come on, do the math. Do the math. Beep, beep. The jump route is still being calculated. Calculate, calculate. And if you think you've heard that sound before, you have. It's a Star Trek sound. It's the sound it makes when they go to warp. And how would you do that? You would take the mesh, you would slide it along, and as you do it, you compress the model, right? And then you add some glow bits around the sides until it kind of does a flash. And then there you go. Then you make that crunch at the back end of it so that it looks like. That's how you do it. Yes, I've done it. I've made little mini bits to add on to Next Generation episodes where they had models. We would take those bits out and put actual CGI into it and see if we could mock it up good enough that you wouldn't be able to tell the difference episode side by side. It took a little while. There were about 20 of us that were trying to learn this stuff, giving each other tips and hints, and that was back years ago. 10, 15 years back, mucking around with shit like that. That's how I ended up with so many of these models for Star Trek. Alright.
Yeah. Yeah, and then the owner decided to be a bit more of an idiot, and he got his security started being lax, and then he got his site hacked, and that was the end of that site. Somebody said, enough for you. Can't have that. Can't have people having fun now. Nope. I don't know why any hacker would do that either. It makes no sense to me whatsoever. It's a brain dead maneuver just to be, just for some laugh, I guess, maybe. There are idiots like that. If they get a rise out of you, they'll do it. Yeah. Hmm. Hmm. Not much. Yeah. Looking for a research station. Oh, scrapyard. Nope. 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 How come I can't get over there? That's bizarre, isn't it? What do I gotta do to get over there? Not just the weirdest shit. Let's go over there and check out why I can't do that. Yeah. I might go back and start playing some simpler games too, like older ones that, you know, just don't need quadrillions of RAM and CPU power to run like these new ones do. The biggest problem I have with newer technologies is relying on these water cooled or extreme cooling things that once that shit fails, your PC's done. It's done because it'll fry the shit. Your CPU will just blow up, melt, and then you need a new one, right? So they're now building things the way they build trucks. One day I went out to my dad's place and he says, you know, this shit with computers, I don't know. He says, you know, I says, well, what are you talking about? He says, come on out to the truck. Pulls up the hood. All you can see is hoses. Everything's a hose. Got to cool this, to cool that, to cool this, to cool that, cool that. One of these hoses goes somewhere, and I don't know where, and then, you know, holy shit, I says. And then you got to fix the part underlying it too, right? Yeah, and he says you can't do that. You got to get the part and just put another one on there. You can't. This electronic shit. You can't just fix it at the side of the road. I says, you got a point. There's certain things that I just don't think should be made as electronic. You know, especially when it comes to vehicles. I could see things like the steering and maybe propulsion, like the you know, accelerating and decelerating. You know, if you wanted to have an artificial intelligent driver, but the actual bits and pieces shouldn't be needing to be all electric. Okay, and the reason being is if it does break down at the side of the road and you're no one around and you do know how to fix things, then you'd be able to get somewhere, right? Rather than be stuck. Well, then the idea there is to say, well, everyone should have a phone. Well, I don't have one, eh? So this whole spy network that they want to set up with the contact tracing that they're going to do via an app that put on your phone, and then it just spies on you. That's just you might as well turn on your phone and say government office, hi, you know. I really don't, you know, like, ugh. It's creepy. It really creeps me out, that stuff. Okay, now I can go this way. There we go. All that to get to a research station, eh? Ooh. Anyway.
sunlight, kind of. It's weird. Look at that, right in front of it. I just got to move like 5 feet. Haha. Nice. Let's see what we can upgrade today. Not much down there. I'll just do this. I don't even care. Armed. Yep. Perfect. Tank. There we go. Let's see how much else here. I don't need the unmanned. Upgrading weapons is almost useless in this game. It rarely leads to something that's gonna be impress you. Let's put it that way. System mods are a different story though. Eventually you get something you want. One armed, eh? It's the end of that movement and stuff. Four. Armed. I'm gonna bet. Yep, there it is. Okay. 3 armed. No, I'm not risking it. And what do we got here? Nothing, probably. Oh, we do. Nice, that's a good one. So is that. Turned out sucky. Figures. Where? See, these are good, eh? Where it says the 86% cooldown, and then it gives you energy consumption, you see. Okay, let's have a look at this shit. We'll go into build mode to do it. So kind of pause the game. Let's see here. What's this thing? So I could put. So that's 18, and 18 is 36. I need a purple in there. What do you think? I need a. So I add 8 onto 32. Still need 4. Yeah. That's why I kept that out, so I can take that back out. If you permanently put it in, it gives you an extra 8 slots, right? Okay. Just give me a second here. I'm going to go to the bathroom and I'll be right back. And of course, my luck, I go to the bathroom, try to turn on the light, and it won't turn on. Need light bulbs now. Good thing I can aim, eh? No. Anyway, let's see here. That's actually a well-designed. This is a really well-designed, fun ship to play. I just gotta say, it's really maneuverable. I like it. And then I added on these like little claws to the end, eh? Kind of, right? So I can put bigger guns on it, right? It's also got some thrustering on it in different spots. Put massive cargo bays on the back here so I can do enough of a run to make it worth my while, and then I of course got lots of extra coin. Let me see here. Yeah, so back to it. Let's see what's in this system. Anything I can mine? Oh yeah, there's some stuff in here. I don't have to go very far. Look at this shit. Okay. Don't have much to get either, do I? Oh, what's he doing? Is he doing some mining too? Okay, let's move over here. What's that one? 44,000? Alright. Let's sit right here. Say hi to people on the stream. Yeah, it's pretty neat. A guy made it on the. This is what I mean. Like, people make some really neat stuff on the workshop for this game. Really, I mean, it's really, really, really fun to mess around with different stuff that other people have made, right? And you can take pieces off of other stuff, and then you can, people do parts of ships like engines and insides and stuff like that too. There are tutorial videos on how to make circles and and all that stuff too, right? It is. It's this is. I honestly say this: if you're gonna be inside and you're stuck inside and you're not doing nothing, find a game like this that's nice and peaceful. Like, let me just turn on the. I'll turn on the audio of this, right? I don't think they're gonna mind me doing that. Listen to the sound. How about that for peace and quiet, eh? You know what I mean? If I listen to this for 3 hours, I'm gonna fall asleep, man. You know what I mean? Now, mind you, when it gets into the battle bits, right? Let me turn that down a bit. It's a bit loud. Here, I'll keep it like that. I usually just keep the sound out. It's a habit because, you know, I got hit by a couple of stupid claims by big companies like EA and Warner Brothers that just love to be asses to people. EA was the worst. It was a combination of EA Warner Brothers for Lord of the Rings Battle for Middle Earth 2. There's 2 seconds or 4 seconds of embedded sound inside the game you cannot remove. They were going after small channels rather than the big channels, because the guy I got this mod from had his own sounds, and he says back to me, he says, well, don't put our sounds on YouTube then, because there might be a copyright issue. I go, what are you doing making a mod that uses copyrighted sounds, you idiot? You know, first of all. Second of all, I said I didn't use any music in the video other than what's in the game without, you know, the music. And then it came back. Then YouTube put me on the new system a week and a half, 2 weeks. This is where it began with me, with YouTube putting me 2 weeks ahead of you guys for everything that they're doing. They put me in the new system that would show you where the little clip of the sound was, and that you could remove that time frame. And I went, no, I'm just going to remove everything about it. The hell with that game. The hell with Warner Brothers. Now, mind you, they've been trying to be nice lately. I'm going to say that. They know about my story. I know they know. Okay? I know they know. Let's just say that. Right? They're being nice. So I say, okay, right. I say you got to stop doing stupid things like going after people for copyrighted numbers. That's just gay. Okay? And I shouldn't even say that word because it's worse than that. Because there's nothing wrong with some people that are gay, let's put it that way. Okay, that's their thing, right? You know what? You're born that way, you are that way, whatever that is about. Okay, I'm a straight white guy. Okay, oh no, I don't understand it. Don't know. You know, it's not a phobia. Phobia means irrational fear. I'm not scared of it. You know, I just don't know shit about it. And when I don't know shit about it, I say stupid things about it then. Or I just don't say shit. And that's 99% of humanity right there. Or 97%. It's that 0.1% that does all the damage and mouthy shit and causing people grief. Yeah, let's see here. I'm going to be done doing this area shortly. No, we got lots to go here. So when the combat starts, though, the music will get more upbeat, right? But it's, you know, I'm pretty sure they aren't going to mind me using the music here. If they do, I get a copyright claim for it, and, you know, I just won't do it again. I'm not monetized. YouTube even tells me, don't worry about it. You know, I'm not. I'm in the habit of if I ever have a thing like that, I just take the video down, right? I don't need to though. It just means that if you ever do get monetized, the money for that goes to them. Which, whatever. You know, here I am advertising your game, and you don't want to piece me back, right? You know what I'm saying? There were 300 people when that's enough. There's 160 people when I started playing this game again. Okay. There's 2,300 or 3,000 concurrent users at Steam the other day, right? A lot of people played this game back years ago, and then he never did nothing with it. And it was, the servers just couldn't handle it. PCs were having problems with it. You know, things have gotten a lot better though, right? We had that one Canadian there that was doing the tests with 32 core, 36 core servers, 18 core. He was testing out servers, different core servers, to see what was the lowest spec you could put the game on that it would keep working in a good way, right? I think it was down to 16 core server and something like 32 gigs of RAM. Like, that's a lot of RAM, man. I got 16, and I had 16 back, you know, 9-10 years ago. That was a lot of RAM back then, I tell you.
It was $200 just for the RAM. Like for if I spend the same amount of money that I spent on this PC 9 years ago as I do today, like I would, right? If I spend $1,600, I'll get a fairly good PC out of this. You know that I can actually then do a lot of fun stuff, and I'm doing it for me, right? I bring the rest of you along in this journey, right? Because I think it's kind of fun. Hopefully some of you actually, kind of learn some stuff too, right? Oh boy. Definitely got to pull them in here because there's only a research station, so you know what they're going to be attacking. It's me or the station. Get in! Come on, numpties. Run all day. Yeah, there goes it. There. Oh, hit that. Please hit that. Good. I got anti-aircraft trap happening. Why is the music not changing? Oh, they're firing at the station. I can't let them destroy this. Sorry, you gotta die. You must die, you must die, you must die. Die, die. Come on, hit him. Holy shit, eh? Kids are tough. Ouch. Now you're in trouble. Gotcha, you turkey. I'll take that. Where's the other idiot? $10 says he's gonna run. Oh, we gotcha. We don't hit that asteroid. I still got little miners floating around outside trying to get in. See what I mean? That's a definite problem they got to still work on, because in any reality, okay, of a game, there's just no way they would be hanging around out there trying to, look at the nice, look at the asteroids over there, buddy. I'll just fly around. I don't care what my captain says. Yeah. These are the guys I'd be firing right there, you know. You're fired. The good thing is, you actually are getting in quicker. See, look. That's one thing right there. One of his, the partners of the guy that made this game is apparently a musician, so, you know, this is his original whatever stuff. Okay, so we filled up. I think we're pretty much full on stuff. Yeah, look at that, eh? Okay. Where's the resource depot? Jeez. There we go. I'll come back here too. Thing is, it is semi-dangerous to do that, because every once in a while you get attacked by like 10 or 15 ships, and the last one time I didn't have enough firepower to take things out quick enough. It's crazy. So one thing I'll do when I get over here, see, some companies are okay with the music, you playing with the music, and some aren't. So this is the first time I've had his music on. So if I get shit for it, then I'll let everybody know, and I just won't do it. I've seen other guys do it, so I don't, I don't think it's a problem. Almost sounds like it's time to, the music's timed itself out.
No, it's doing stuff. I can hear it. It's different. But see, this would be good for a late night stream, eh? You know, because it's nice and mellow music, you know? It's just, everybody chill. We're just gonna fly around and soak in the space. That's when I turn up the graphics and go into like a beginner creative mode, so anything shows up I can just blow it up quick, you know. Just get back to having a relaxing, spaced out time. ASMR space game. Sorry, there's no Alinity isn't here. Did you hear about her? Got herself banned for a day and then she decided to take another 2 days off. So she shows a nipple and gets a day's ban, but whips her cat around and stuff like that. Doesn't get any shit. No respect, eh? It's all a publicity stunt, no doubt. They should just, I don't know. It's like you got YouTube, Twitch, and then Pornhub. It's like Twitch is in between. That's what, you know, I don't know. They just hit their creators with, what was it, 10% less fees or something. So while that's doing that, see, this is how you do this game, okay? Where's that research thing? Right down here. I go back in here, and while that 5 minutes is going on, you zip over here. You get back to mining again. Man, this sound is actually getting kind of... change the music. Zip over this asteroid field. Here we go. Start getting people out right now. Give her. Go, guys. Xanian, the expensive stuff. Well, almost. Oganite and Avorion is better. We haven't gone there yet. Not with this ship. Not until I get a bunch of purples all over it. And then I might try it just to test it. That's kind of like what I do. I take other people's ships, modify, test them, fix them up. And because of what I've done with those big meshes and imports, now I know how to fix up some of the really big ships like the Star Destroyers and stuff. I can fix the guts on those suckers and make them... It would be unreal how they would move. And that's why it'd be unrealistic too, you know? Okay, we're going at a nice pace here now. Let's do this. Yeah, and if I were playing multiplayer and it was PvP, I would have my weapons placed on the sides of my ship rather than the front. I'd put a couple on the front that were really long range and seeker missiles, and then on the sides I'd put like big cannons and stuff, right? And the reasoning is because I'm not going to take my time coming at you. I'm going to fly right beside you and let you have one good volley right in the head. It's kind of like how, if you've seen Star Wars 3, Rise of the, or Revenge of the Sith, where those two ships come across each other and they start firing like, just like the old cannons on the 17th and 18th century ships, eh? They come alongside and they start shooting each other. They don't go straight at each other, right? Broadside combat. That's kind of like how you would do it. No pissing around either. And the reason why a ship like this is good is because not only does it go fast forward, okay, but it stops on a dime and it can turn on a dime, right? So I can run right by you, turn around, stop, go another direction, come around the side of you again, right? Ships that are not as able to do that are going to get whacked hard. There's only like about, I'd say, 6 designs in the workshop that I'd say that are well like that, like out of the box kind of thing, right? This is one of them. I was impressed. I really am impressed. They actually took some work on coloring it too, you know. That was something why when I was doing the bird of prey thing, I decided to look at some of them in some of the shows and stuff and see what colors and what they did with their birds of prey, and they didn't just have them just a set green. There was actually color to them, like an actual bird, right? And then the guy says, well, I actually made a Romulan bird of prey, and he showed me a picture of it. And I says, that's not a Romulan bird of prey. It doesn't look anything like it. I said, what it looks like is a D4 Klingon vessel. I says, I've got an RPG book that was made in the 80s by FASA that has every Star Trek ship ever made up to that point, right? And some that they added in themselves and everything else. Some of it's not quite considered canon. But if you took that game right from that point backwards, okay, you could have, and then they did eventually do the Next Generation and some other stuff later on too, right? Which is kind of neat because you then have a rule set for the entire, you know, spectrum of what I consider canon. I don't consider Discovery canon. I'm sorry. It's just, it's a foolish show. It's some nice you know what? I'll give them credit. They made a decent sci-fi show, but it's not Star Trek. I don't know what do you want to call it? Call it Spore. That's what they should have done. Unfortunately, you know, it's what you get stuck with when you have your intellectual property rights stripped into 2 different camps. I mean, it was a mess legally to do anything. And they all tried to make a buck from it, and it just wouldn't happen. Ooh, look at this. Okay, we got to come back. How much have I got already? Look at this. Oh, guess what? We're going to try this anyway. Come on over here, guys. Look at this big chunk. Let's do it. This piece here. Come on. Yeah. Come on, boys. They're powder. I saw one guy doing voiceovers of like, there was like a dog growling and he made it like it sound like it was talking and everything. See, that's entertaining, right? You know, it's kind of silly, but you know, made you laugh, right? And in times like this, you need to find some ways to have a good laugh here and there too. That's one of those things. I saw SB did a trailer there. I'll have to go and have a look at what this thing's about. There was Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I never liked that show much. It seems like it's like a cop show with Marvel. You know, that's what it is. It's like they're trying to put, what was that famous police show? I forget the name of it. I don't watch it, but went for years and years. Like, stop it, Put some superheroes in things or go home. What they should do is a proper rendition of the Eternals and some of the other stuff and things like that. I know there's DC. I might be mixing some of the stuff up with Dark Side and all that stuff, but they should. Oh my God, something's hitting me. Oh yeah, here we go. I'm gonna lose some ships here, boys. Maybe. Is that all of them? Okay. This will take a while. I wonder, should I even do it? That's hippie. No, I shouldn't. I should get over here and get these guys to do the other stuff. Yeah, come on, guys. It's too much there. It'll be a waste. Come on over here. They have a certain radius, by the way, that they'll stay around you. So if I go far enough over here, they should leave that. I'll keep backing up a bit. Come on. Come on. Yeah, there they go. There, that's better. We'll leave that other one alone. This other stuff build up. Come back for it. See, music changed a little. Nice and calm. Jeez. Oh my God, here they come. They got angry, I hurt them. Get in, guys. I knew it. This is what I was talking about. Come on, hit him. Oh. Where is this guy? You're next on Price is Right. Don't mess with my people. Time to die. Next. Who's next? See the music change? A little more upbeat. Give you a little bit of okay. Anyway, so now what you do is you go back to the place you were just at. Where is it? Right here. And if I was paying more attention, I'd do this quicker. Yeah. And people worry about when you play a game like this if somebody would grief you. Well, I'm in a sector here where the players can't attack you. Right? They can't attack each other in this sector. And there's a bunch of these all over the place, right? Big problem is if you go somewhere and someone's paying attention, then they'll go looking for you. Well, space is big. It's very big. There's a million million places to go in this little whatever. Brakes. I'm gonna have to put some more whatchamacallits on here. Anyway, do this. Take that. Put that in there. That. Okay. Go with that. The M key. Back to the research lab. Okay. Back we go. It's almost like reality, eh? You pick up some ore, you take it to a station, they refine it, and then you get your metals back and give them a tax. Okay. Let's see where all the fighting was. Now we got some backup in here, I see. Now, let's get this going right away. One of the games I might even do is an older one, Galactic Civilization 2 or something like that. I never really gave. I have the third one too. I just never really gave it much of a chance. It's different. It's a little different anyway. I like the idea though that you can literally put up your own image for your own faction, eh? So you can make a, you know, feels a little more modded, you know, customized. Let me put a bio in and everything else. You get right into it if you want, which is kind of cool in itself. Trippy music, man. Trippy music. Yeah, when I pop out of the game, it kind of stopped the music. Just checking things. I almost feel like I should put the quality up. Looks a little too blurry for me, but when I stream, it's a little easier on the system for doing this. That's the thing, eh? I get much better settings. As soon as you add OBS, it's because of all the background stuff the software does. Not much you're going to do about it. So you aim at one of the little ships and they'll show you. See, I can show you, I can tell you where each squad is. And if you wanted to do a really crazy multiplayer, each of these squads could be run by a different player, right? Then, over here, you could, where is it? Over here. Each of these running a weapon group, right? Along the bottom, right? All these are a weapon group, and then you have the 10 squads. It's crazy amount of stuff. Plus you have the guy who's the pilot. So you could have 21 people, right? On one ship, right? How crazy is that for a game? I've never seen anyone try that. I would love to try and organize something like that, but I just don't think you could find 21 people to do it. How are we at that? There we go. Have to buy 21 people a copy of the game, right? Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Well, that's it for coffee for tonight. 4 coffees a day. That's it. First one at about 7:30 in the morning, and the last one right now. Pretty organized. How are we doing there? That's a tritium, eh? Lots of stuff to mine here. I need a bigger ship. I could afford one too right now if I wanted. It's just, I like this one. I don't know. Park right here. Then you got all the way up into that area up in here, and that where you see the colors, that's a different type of material. As I sort of cycle around, it'll tell you where stuff is. What would be cool is if I could tell the fighters to mine one type of ore. I never heard anyone suggest that. That would be a kind of a cool thing, like over on the left here where we have orders, mine X type of ore, or you know, because it becomes a bit of a, you can't tell them to say get this yellow rock. They'll go and they'll get everything around it first and then that. So you gotta kind of gear them or engineer them that way over to that. Do 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 do. What are we doing here? We're getting close. Yep. Yep, that's that. Now what are you gonna go at? $500,000 tritium. Okay. That is all she wrote for that. Now when you come back, if you run into these little specks that are still left there, you end up picking it up anyway, so really it doesn't waste. But I mean, you could go through the whole system just doing that and then just glide through all that stuff, but then it's harder to see it. So it'll be neat. I might try one of these community servers, go on one as a player and see what they're like, you know. There's going to be, apparently when you go in there, there'll be like a little advertisement for the company that's doing it, which is kind of, you know, that's a fair way of doing things too. Give you a little break on that. And it's a nice thing that he's doing, you know, that if you don't have the money to rent a server, you can apply and you can get one of these and
and kind of mess with it, you know? Like if I had 10 people that said, you know, we'd like to play this game, or, you know, I would go and apply for it, and then I just say, okay, I'll administer it, and, you know, if I won't be in the game all the time, but here's contact info for me for the entire day where you can reach me, you know. And then I'll just go in and fix anything if anything is needing to be fixed, or, you know, whatever you need to do. The administration of these things isn't that hard. There is a lot of commands that you can learn, and there's stuff to know, and it's like any server, you know. It's as complicated as you want to make it be. Okay. So I'm gonna go back up here. This is how you can do things in a fairly quick way too, you know. As you can see, just by doing that, I've almost doubled the resources I have in, like, you know, 4 or 5 runs in like an hour. Imagine doing this all day. You'd have a ship you could go right into the center of the galaxy with. Just gotta do the quests to get you there. Brakes. Brakes. There we go. And I'll wait this time. Showcases some of the workshop ones I'm checking out. So you'll notice when you do go in the workshop that a lot of the designs are set up for that PvP, that they're broadside. You know, they're like skinny like this, right? Or like this one here. Because then you can put all your weapons along here, right? And then when something comes at you, right? You just fly beside it and boom. Yeah, that's the largest ship in the game. That's just crazy shit. That fries your machine. What's that? I was looking at this one actually. When I designed something very primitively, okay, this wasn't in existence. No one had made one. I made one like a long time. I never put it up at the workshop though, because it was just still rough, like the outsides. I didn't smooth it like this. And another thing I'd do is I'd bring this out so it's round. I would, right? I would. And I'd put little cliffs along here, right? And I'd make it look in here like there was, kind of like, I'll show you a ship here, where is it? It's like the Star Destroyer on the top here, right? How you have these fake buildings that look like buildings, right? You know, that's the kind of thing you do with it, and then it makes it look like the old ship, right? Let's see here. This one's a crazy design too. It doesn't have any, it doesn't have any launcher base though. That's its big flaw. At least I don't think it did. Did it? No, it didn't. So, like, yeah. As crazy neat as it is, it's
This one here is pretty neat. I got playing with it one day. And this is what I mean about a broadsider. Okay? Yes, the difference is this has a ram prow on the front. And if you made it out of Olganite, the strongest material in the game, you could actually use that in such a fashion as to ram into people. Right? Like this section here. This was all made of Olganite. And see, what you do is you put these weapons all along here, right? And you fly by somebody and you let them have it, right? You take this off and you put a big little square there, and then you put a coaxial gun on that, right? And then it fires much like that would, right? And you do the same here. You put like a big square here, and then you would put a coaxial. And what should be there is, instead of that gun being there, that gun should be put further back, and there should be a spear out the front of that. And I'll show you what I'm talking about on another vessel that's further down here. Like, it's still realistic and great and everything, and it looks cool, but that's a flaw of that ship. You're gonna wreck your gun in a multiplayer situation there. Where'd it go? There's might be way down at the bottom here. Yeah, see, this is what I mean about engine parts too. See? Look at how nicely detailed that is. I like that. That was very well done. Right? And you can put it into things, put it on things, around things, build a piece around it, you know. It's kind of cool. I like that. I'll have to play around with that and make some engines and do different things. And there's like different versions, right? Right? See? See, people do different things, and I grab a hold of them and just muck with them. You know, this is what I mean by parts. See, you got letters here. So now I can just remove the pieces behind there and use those letters, right? USS whatever. Early Millennium Falcon design, before the Millennium Falcon. So I even got the RPG books for the old FASA Star Wars too, right? And it's got some neat designs in it too for stuff. Where is that one ship? I don't see it in here anymore. Maybe it died. There's a big yellow one. No, it's not this one. No. What's this? Pilot station. Where'd you go? 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 Up here? No. No. There's more engines. This one is huge, by the way. It's not small. That's like massively big. That's tiny, though. Same with that one. Seeing it. Is it this one? No, that's not it. Where did you go? So I used this one time on the sides of a ship, right? One of the playthroughs there. Where is that sucker? You're up here somewhere. Be hiding out amongst all this. Where did it go? Interesting. It's not in here anymore. I'll try looking through this one more time. Hold on. Where did it go? There's a really heavy duty one. That's what I mean about skinny ships. See? Put all your weapons in there, and they're protected from fire from above and below. No. Is there that one, and there was another one in here, and I don't know where it went. Oh, here it is. This thing. This is just a... Whoa. That's what I'm talking about. See the front of this sucker? This thing is insanity. Urgh. Look at that. The Emperor protects. Oh, there's space in here, is there? Ah, interesting. Space in there too. Let me see something here. Little bits. Oh, look at that! I can put something in there. Interesting. See, people don't understand. You can do things with ships that you can modify them and make them better. Anyway, I'm gonna call it here at the moment. And let's see here. Hold on. Let me just do this and this. Okay. Should be able to collect our stuff here soon. Probably got about 4 or 5 minutes. That was see, when you hit the V key, it pauses things. Right? So I'll just wait for that to get done, and then that'll be the end of this. I might wanna. So I got Elite Dangerous, and I wanted to try that out too, and that game has a little bit more of a learning curve. Let's put it that way. Plus, yeah. Harder on PC. But I got the game, right? You know, this is why I you know, having all these new games to try. Now I'm gonna go and save up and collect, you know, get the better PC, and then I can play with it. By then, Willie, maybe the PlayStation 5 will be out, and you'll be lucky to be one of the people that might get one. Word is they'd be about $750 Canadian, $750 for a console. Wow, I can't believe that. That's an insane price, man. They just keep wanting to make more and more money, man. What they're doing is they're slowly raising the price up, you know, so that they're not losing money on making the consoles anymore, and then they're going to keep doing the same thing with games, overpricing them and charging you on them. Anyway, we shall wait a minute here, and then I will finish up here. Good little comeback, and then I'll start streaming again. Figure I'll go get my takeout in the morning, and then I'll sit down, watch, and, you know, look at some news and different science stuff and all that. What the heck is that? Time rolling a smoke, big chunk of wood in there. That's right, folks, don't smoke wood, it's bad for you. Can't believe it. Okay. Closer. And we got $1 million of everything but iron. And, let's see, 36 million in cash. And I'm gonna go try this Shogun game. Gotta go through the tutorial because I have no idea how to play around with it. The good news is that with DirectX 9 version, it'll be easier on the PC for a lot of things, so it might not look quite so pretty, but you know, I'd rather a game be functional, usable, and fun than pretty, okay, or flashy.
You had the flash in the pants later. Let's see, it ended up with, geez, almost 2 million tritium. That's a nice chunk of xanium too. I know, just felt like firing my guns. Do not do when walking down a street. Or a better way of putting it, things not to do while walking down a street. I had one person, I put on some really trippy music like this one time, and they were going, "That's some really screwed up music you were playing." And I'm like, "Yeah, YouTube has some free stuff that's weird." There we go. All right. Okay, Willie, thanks for coming out, and I'll see you in your stream next. Oh, you don't need another one, eh? Well, you know, PS4 is going to be good for years, buddy. Like, you got to remember, the Unreal Engine can make games for the PS4 forever, right? And they know that. So, that's the neat thing that is good with that thing. And, oh, they're going to be making games for it for the next couple of years, bud. So, you don't got nothing to worry about. Trying to think like I do, how I bought this PC in 2012, okay? So it's almost going on 9 years. 9 years of use for a PC, right? That's a lot of that's good. That's a lot of use for it, you know, for the price I paid. You got to figure that's less than $200 a year, right? And have I got my money back out of it? Let me think here. Yeah, just about. On top of that, I've made money with it, where over those 9 years that I could say I've made more than $1,600 in 9 years, right? More than likely. Helping people out. Somebody, you know, like, and think about it like this. By that I mean not just say cash or something. Somebody giving you a game for helping them out, or doing something like that, giving you something for helping them out. I work more trade. I like trade like that rather than cash, right? It works better that way for me. Especially being on disability, then you get something for it. They don't bother you about getting money for things. But they made new rules just before COVID. You're allowed to make $5,000 a year. I'm told that if you live in Ontario, you're allowed to ask them for $100 extra a month. So I'm going to do that tomorrow, and I'll just put that away. You know what I mean? Like, save it up. You know. Well, things do cost more. Like bread went up 30% in the stores, right? That's an essential food right there, man. You know, the cheap wieners that I was buying, they're like, everybody's now figuring out that, better get the cheap stuff. And then they had that problem over in a factory in Alberta, so you can't get the other kind. It's just like, oh boy. And they're saying that what was it? Meats are going to start getting
expensive because they can't get the meat to us. They can't get. They got food. All these farmers got food, right? But they can't get it to us. How's that for fucked up shit? This bullshit where they were saying, "Oh, the supply chains are great, everything's fine," and then the next day I go in for toilet paper and there was none there. Good thing I had a roll extra, boys and girls, or I'd be coming over here to wipe my ass. Yeah, baby. Here, wipe this. Plop. Right in the front doorstep, eh? Yeah. Oh, you got two PS4s. I didn't see that. Yeah. Wow, shit. Sure. Someone had given me a PS3, and then there was a younger couple I knew, and I thought, well, I'll be nice. I got a computer, and I don't really need it. I gave it to them, and then I found out they went to a store and they went and pawned it off, and I was like, idiots, idiots, right? You know. Now they have nothing. You see, like silly, silly. Anyway, man, I am going to take a little break and then go play some other stuff. Thanks for dropping in, and I will see you on your next stream, whether it's WWE or it's the new Aliens game. I like to see more of that game. I probably won't buy it right away yet. I like to wait a little while and let things get bug fixes and time to go by. I'm not always an early adopter to stuff because of that. And plus the fact I don't know if it's just it's probably a Windows 10 only thing now. A lot of the newer games are going to be like that now, and then so I got to look at just keeping my library. I got hundreds of games, man. It's just, oh my god, it's crazy how many games I have. Probably got like 50 or 60 over at the Epic Store from them giving out free shit. Then I got I'm serious. I got like 90% of my library at Steam, and I got hundreds of games at Steam. It's all from freebies and everything else. So, lots to do, and then I got the Unreal Engine stuff to play with. That's what I mean. I got lots to do. I'm never not bored, right? Not usually, right? And then I got all my Blu-rays of television series and stuff like that, sci-fi and all that stuff, right? So this is what I mean. For a disabled guy with a bad back who doesn't get out very much, I got enough for me to keep going forever. Forever. It's the rest of you, you know? It's when, and what's getting at me probably is not the fact that I'm isolated. It's that other people are isolated and they're always on now, right? It was hard enough dealing with mental people before. Now we got to deal with you all day long too, right? I don't know. Some people, I don't know how they do it. How they get by, going out to work and everything, and their brains ain't right. I don't know. I guess there's a way. Anyhow, good on them. Anyway, oh, and did you? Oh, I guess you don't have a PC. It's too bad I can't convert my little island playing. What do you call it? Player game where you build a little hut and everything on the island into like a PS4 thing that you can put on your system, right? It would be neat if I could do that, right? But I think you need the PS4 store to do any of that stuff and make sure it's all verified, blah, 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 blah. So, yeah. It's too bad there isn't another way to do that, because then I could do some neat things for some of the console people, and then because I have a lot of, almost half the people, I think, that are on my channel or sub to me are console players, right? Good chunk or more, maybe, yeah. Anyway, okay, guys, I will see you tomorrow. Have a good one. Be safe. Wash your hands. Wash your feet. Wash your nose. Wash your hair. Wash your parts. Wash it all. Have a good one. Take it easy.